It's knowing that your door is always open and your path is free to walk. It makes me tend to leave my sleeping bag rolled up and stashed behind your couch. It's knowing I'm not shackled by forgotten words and bonds, adding ink stains that have dried upon some line. That keeps you in the back roads by the rivers of my memory, that keeps you ever gentle on my mind. It's not clinging to the rocks and ivy painted on their columns now that bind me. Or something that somebody said because they thought we fit together walking. It's not knowing that the world will not be cursing or forgiving when I walk around the railroad track and find that you're moving on the back roads by the rivers of my memory, and hours you're just gentle on my mind. Though the wheat fields and the clotheslines and the junkyards and the highways come between us, and some other woman's crying to her mother 'cause she turned and I was gone, I still might run in silence, tears of joy might stain my face, and the summer sun might burn me till I'm blind. But not to where I cannot see you walking on the back roads by the rivers flowing gentle on my mind. I dip my cup of soup back from a gurgling, crackling cauldron in some train yard. My beard a rustling towel and a dirty hat pulled low across my face. Through cup hands round the tin can, I pretend to hold you to my breast and find that you're waiting from the back roads by the rivers of my memories, ever smiling, ever gentle on my mind. And we're back tonight, folks. Here it is around 10 o'clock, 10:04 in the East. And we're going to take questions from you here this evening. And anyway, we are not sure what happened to Dr. Smith. We've been trying to reach him and no response. So he told me he couldn't go past 9:30. So 9:30 came, and we'll figure out what happened. We'll get it back on another time if he wants to come back. I hope he does. But we're grateful that you're here tonight with us, and we're not going to keep you long. It's 10 o'clock. We've been going. This is our third show of the day. If I'd have known Dr. Smith couldn't be with us tonight, I'd have kept James on a little longer. But that's all right. We're going to get James back on next week. We've got Magdalene Roach Tuesday night. We've got James coming Monday night. Ruth Goodenheim Thursday night. Bill Federer will be with us next week. Or one night soon. We're going to be recording. We were supposed to record him today, and we had a little blip, and so we're gonna get all these interviews in at some point. Tony Branco's coming back with me, and so forth. I do want to just say a few things about the James Akers interview. I hope you listened intently to what he had to say tonight, folks. This thing with Israel is getting very precarious for our nation, and for those of you that follow our faith program, you know that we are teaching in the mornings on basically national Israel and her role in Bible prophecy and things that are coming, against her after the rapture of the church and so forth. And this idea that Israel is not important in the plan of God, unfortunately, has been planted in the minds of a lot of people. But in all my time of living on this earth, I've never seen our government be as blatantly, outwardly, publicly humiliating of Israel like they are tonight. we had an outstanding hour with Ruth Guggenheim today. She's back in Israel. We had a pleasure meeting her in person. It's in the wee hours of the morning in Israel, so I know she's not listening tonight, but she hit a home run out of the park as it related to National Israel. And we are can't wait to play that interview next week. We really can't. And so forth, because she's going to say a lot of things that I'm saying tonight. We're humiliating Israel. We literally are. The things we're doing publicly. She makes a statement in the interview. She said that there's some things that don't need to be aired out in the public, and I can hardly amen that. And it especially applies to diplomatic relations between the two countries. And when Joe Biden goes out and he trashes Israel publicly, when Chuck Schumer does it, when and we're not talking about these college protests, these kids, these punk kids doing it, but I'm talking about his official government statement, a government policy of the American government. And when we publicly threaten Israel's government, I get a chill. I get a chill when I hear Joe Biden calling for the disillusionment of Israel's government. He's trying to destroy it. And he's trying to put the blame on these civilian casualties on Bibi Netanyahu and the Israeli IDF forces. And it is so unfair. It's so ungodly. It's so demonic. But you mark my word, the things that is being said publicly in a negative way about Israel, if Joe Biden's not careful, they're going to come right back on him. And they're going to come back on his party and his administration. I've seen this happen before. I've watched this through the years in my studies, and just following this pattern of how when we bless Israel, we're blessed. How we curse Israel, we get cursed. And I remember Bush Sr., I should say. I'll use him as an example of this tonight. And then I'm going to get to your questions and comments. We're not going to be here but about another 20 minutes. We're not going to stay long tonight. I was going to, almost didn't come back on at all, but I didn't feel right. I told you I was coming back, and wanted to at least say hello to you one last time before we end the week's network shows this week. But when Bush Sr. started this Land for Peace initiative, they held money back. That's how they pressured Israel. They would basically take our money, and it's very similar to what Joe Biden's threatening to do tonight. You heard James talk about the aid that he sent to Gaza. He sent aid basically to Hamas. And there's another report that Gateway Pundit just broke in between James's interview and me coming on tonight, that we've sent $1 billion, or we're trying to send $1 billion to Iran in aid for God knows what. I don't even know what that $1 billion is for. It's just like we're spending money like candy. $1 billion here, $1 billion here, $5 billion there, $3 billion there, $2 billion there, $10 million, $50 million. Ukraine gets $300 million. I've never seen a government waste money and just toss it around like we've got it growing on trees. That's what my dad used to say whenever we kids would pressure Dad to give us money for stuff. He would look at it and say, "What do you think, money grows on trees?" He said, "Where do you think I'm getting this money from? It don't grow on trees." And I want to shake a nod in this government tonight and let them know that this money don't grow on trees. It's coming out of our pocket. It's coming out of the taxpayer's pocket. And but if that's true, then you and I both know where his allegiances lie. I told everybody this back in October, and people kept trying to defend him and say, "Oh, no, he's going to stand." Even Ruth admitted today to me off the camera. She said, we were talking about, we saw it. I saw it coming, and people were hoping. I'm not saying people weren't hopeful that what he was saying is true, but I did not believe him then. And he's done exactly what I felt like he was going to do. And it took him a little longer than I expected. It's taken him about 5 months. I thought it would probably take place sooner, but he held out for 5 months. It's all politics because he's getting his backside handed to him by the Muslim wing of the Democratic Party, and this left-wing AOC, Ariana Presley, this herd squad, whatever you call them. I call them the herd, not the squad. But they are pressuring him to basically betray Israel, and he's biting. He's biting. So I would be praying for your country tonight. Just some friendly advice. I'd be praying for your country. In my country. It's not yours, it's mine. It's our country. I'd be praying for our country. Because these statements that are being made publicly, folks, have weight because he is the president of the United States. And I love what Ruth said today. She said that this stuff does not need to be handled on the public, dirty laundry line of the internet and the dirty lines of public communications from the White House. And she said if they've got a problem with Israel, they need to take it up with Bibi privately. But when they do it publicly, they give Hamas gas. They give the enemies of God gas. And that is what this kind of stuff does. And it's demonic. It's not coming from God. It's not coming from some kind of righteous. We're concerned about the casualties in Gaza. We're concerned about human life in Gaza. I heard Blinken say that today. He said that the human lives of Gaza was more important than IDF victories. Well, dumb blank. The IDF victories are there you can save human life in the future. It wasn't Israel that took human life to begin with. But that's the narrative out there. All righty. But I will tell you this. These things are going to come back to haunt us. They're going to come back to haunt us. What I was going to talk to Dr. Smith about, and I'll just mention this. They've got a new virus out. There's no name to it yet. And I will get with him, and hopefully nothing's wrong. But I want him to come back. I really do want him to come back and talk about this. We hadn't had him on this year, and we really hated we missed him tonight. But I wanted to ask him about this new virus because when I was on the Weather Channel outlet tonight, by the way, you folks in Ohio, hunker down. My dear buddy Chris Aquila says they're hunkering down in Huber Heights right now because tornadoes are coming through, and they just had a little outbreak here about 2 weeks ago. Six or seven tornadoes hit right around Dayton, and right where my brother and I used to live. So you Ohio, Indiana folks, be safe tonight. Kentucky, things are about to get rocking and rolling a little bit up there. But anyway, the Weather Channel app has a story on it that there's a new virus circulating in the country. And I just shook my head because when the Weather Channel is not supposed to be political, I just want my weather forecast. But I said this also just a few weeks ago. It would not surprise me if something don't pop up between now and the election, and it will pop up. And it's popping up. So I wanted to talk to Dr. Smith about that. But we'll get him on another time. But tonight was been about Israel. And I encourage you, worldisraelnews.com is a great website. A lot of these stories we're talking about tonight, we've posted already on our Telegram room today. And we encourage you to go there and read those stories. Let's see what you got to say tonight. Let's see here. I had you all up. We are here. We don't, we got 100 people watching. Good Lord. That's pretty good. That is excellent. Let's see here. And folks, thank you, Cleo, for the statement there. I'm not going to answer that question. If you've got a question or a chat, please put it in the chat room, and we will take your question tonight. Anything you got to say about Israel, anything about the country, comments on topic. James, good to see you from Arkansas tonight. Michelle Baker is in the house. Sheila Daspit, hey again to you. Carol, the Haiti invasion, thank you for mentioning that. You know, that was one thing I wanted to talk to James about. We'll talk about this Monday night. Thank you, Carol Smith. Apple of the night, not apple of the day, but apple of the night, Carol. We are having an invasion, folks, from Haiti. I don't know if you heard the news in the last 48, 72 hours. Port-au-Prince, the capital, has been overrun by gangs. The president is in hiding. He has fled. There's no leadership. These spurless, violent gangs, and yes, some of these black magic, voodoo-led tribes down there, whatever you want to call them. I don't know what you call them in Haiti anymore. You know, I don't know if y'all remember this. I know most of you do. Some of you do. The Clintons, the Clinton Foundation, where they extorted a great deal of their money from people, was claiming that they were going to go down and help Haiti. That's where they claimed that the millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars that the Clinton Foundation was taking in as a nonprofit. And there are laws that guard nonprofits, not just people that just take donations, but they were taking it as a nonprofit organization. And we pretty much can guarantee that that money wasn't going to Haiti. But they were bragging that Haiti was going to be a bastion of democracy, and that through the Clinton initiatives, they were going to rise above the ashes of all this stuff, and Haiti was going to be a picture of stability to the world. And we're seeing tonight that that ain't so. And President Trump warned just a couple of years ago that Haiti was going to basically explode, and the media mocked him for it. They mocked him. They always mock him. And they just claimed, well, he don't know what he's talking about. Well, yeah, he did know what he was talking about. And basically right now you've got a Haiti invasion on our southern Florida border tonight, not Texas, but they're coming up through Florida. Ron DeSantis today, we've got some stories posted on the Telegram room about this, but he had to call in not the National Guard, but he called the actual Air Force, Marines, Navy, and Army, some of the military people, to assist him to make sure that none of these criminal elements come into Florida. He's very concerned about it tonight. If you folks live in Florida, I'd be concerned about it too. Carol, my update on that is that that's the latest I've heard. We're following that story. We're not going to be on air tomorrow or the weekend. I'll be with family this weekend. Birthday boys. I got a 5-year-old turning 5 tomorrow, and I got another son having a birthday over the weekend, and I'm going to spend time with family. Now, we'll be here Sunday morning, but no shows tomorrow. I will update this Monday night. We're going to talk about Haiti. I want to get my dear friend Leslie Milwee on, because she knows the Clintons well, not in a good way, but we're going to talk with Leslie about this, and we're going to try to get some other folks that know some things about Florida down there. It's a dangerous situation, Carol. I will tell you this. While we are being trashed, the mega community is being trashed, and Trump's being trashed, and Trump's being slung through the mud judicially, Haiti's invading our country. These elements are coming through Florida. It's a dangerous thing, and I think it's the worst nightmare, but that nation is descended into chaos. There is no government in place tonight that I know of. That's my update. And the gangs that are running it are dark. I mean, these are violent gangs that would cut your head off as well as look at you. So what I understand. So, yes, thank you for asking that question. I should have mentioned this to James. We'll get with him. There'll be some updates. We'll do this Monday night on our Monday night show. We will talk about Haiti, and thank you for that. I appreciate the question. I really do. James says Haiti is hostile to missionaries there. That is true, James. They've been always hostile, and they're hostile to America because of the government situation. And again, there is no government there tonight. There is none. And but even before this, the government was corrupt, and all this money and all these millions and millions. And look, folks, I know the rumors are out there, and look, I don't want to go down this path tonight. I know all the rumors that kids were being trafficked and kids were being done this way and that way and sacrificed and all that, and perhaps some of that was true, perhaps some of it wasn't. And I know the Clintons are into dark stuff. I know they're reprobate as hell, and I get all that. But the bigger story is the threat now to our nation. Those things that people were claiming was going on in Haiti, while horrible and terrible and dark and demonic, they did not directly affect America. This is affecting America tonight, and this is affecting you folks in Florida. I salute Ron DeSantis for acting quickly. He didn't let no grass grow under his feet. He is doing everything he can to stop the tide of this inflow into Florida, because there's going to be refugees from it. They're already trying. That's what the issue is right now. He's trying to stop the stream of refugees. And I heard Laura Ingraham tonight, the Biden administration, mark it down in the next 36 to 48 hours. You mark my word. There's going to be a statement released by the White House. They will say we're welcoming the Haitian refugees into the country, and we welcome them to America, and they're probably going to offer them money. They'll probably offer them, say, if you come up here, we'll help you, just like they're doing all the other illegals into the country. So don't be surprised if you don't hear that. That's what's going to happen. I may be wrong, but I may be right. A demonic invasion is absolutely right. Cleo says, I went there 12 years ago, young men desperate to get out of there and get to the United States. And I don't doubt that, Cleo. I don't doubt that a bit. It's a terrible nation, folks. If that nation is dark, there is voodoo down there. There's occultism, black magic, witchcraft galore, definitely. But the corruption in government made it worse. And all this Clinton, you know, I hate to be so cynical tonight. I hate to be cynical about this. If people could not see, because the Clintons did not stick a gun to anybody's head to get those millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars to donate to the Clinton Foundation as it related to Haiti. Nobody did. Nobody. But they collected tens of millions, maybe hundreds of millions of dollars, claiming they were putting all that money in Haiti. And you and I both know that money no more went to Haiti than Chris is the Pope. I mean, that money never made it down there. The morning Chris is going to be invited to a Catholic function. There's a tongue-in-cheek moment there. Chris won't be invited to that. But that money, there's no telling where that money went. But it didn't make it to Haiti, I can tell you that. It sure didn't go into stabilizing the government. But anyway, that's my first medal of the night a little bit. But it is the dark country. If you got a question or statement, real quick, folks, we've got about 10 minutes here. Thank you, James, for the statement. It is definitely a demonic invasion. We want to welcome our Facebook audience in tonight. Let me see what's going on over here tonight. And then we're going to say a few things, and then we're going to say goodnight to you all. Let's see here what we got going on in the McFiles newsroom on Facebook. Let's see here. Sherry says God's protection over his people, praying that God is in control. Well, I think we all are praying that too, Sherry. I don't think that. Roger says, I hear the leader of Haiti is called BQ. Roger, who knows? Who knows, man? I just heard, all I've heard is it's gangs. It would surprise me if the leader is BQ. I'm trying not to laugh at this, but anyway, it's sad. By the way, I don't know if y'all heard about this. I'm going to talk about this next week to another story that was so grotesque. If you don't think this country, if you don't think this world has gone sick, I do want to say something before I say that. A couple of things I want to mention. I do want to say something tonight. I said it this morning in my Bible study, and I would be remiss if I didn't do it tonight. Hang on just one second. Where is that? I do want to say this tonight as we get ready to wrap this week up. That young man right there is Travis Wolf. He was 12 years old. And our prayers go out to his family tonight. Speaking of the invasion of the illegals, this girl on the right, I don't know her name. I don't hate her, but I hate what she stands for. I'll just put it like this. I hate what she stands for, and the reasons why she was here, I hate. I pray for her, but she got behind the car, did not know how to drive, had no license. She crossed over in a lane near St. Charles, Missouri, which is outside of St. Louis. and hit this family's Jeep head on. I think his daddy was driving, Travis's daddy. Travis died instantly. Or I take that back, he didn't die instantly. He died at the hospital. And he's dead now. He's 12 years old. He's 12 years old, and his life is gone. And she's in prison, and likely, I hope, not to ever get out. It's capital murder in my opinion. It's not just homicide. It's not just manslaughter. It's murder. I mean, that's just plain murder. This is the state of affairs in this nation. This is the state of affairs in this nation. And there's going to be more Travis Wolves, and our prayers tonight for this beautiful family. Sad that their son is dead, but he's dead because of this government. I do get angry at this government for allowing this illegal invasion to take place. And because of this illegal invasion, a 12-year-old kid is dead tonight. A 12-year-old kid is dead. You can't bring him back. And it's sad. And I was watching the news stories this morning. There's another story. I don't have the headline, but I will tell you the Utah story was even more grotesque than this. It has nothing to do with illegals. There was a parent, a father and a mother, and the father was raping the daughter for 6 years. They finally caught him. And when they went before a judge, and the judge asked him why they were doing it, why the daddy was doing it, and the mother evidently was joining in, the daughter finally gave up the goods, and the parents said to the judge that the reason that the daddy raped her and had sex with her, that he didn't want her having sex with strangers. And folks, my point in even bringing such debauchery up is to let you know on this Thursday night that darkness is descending upon this country. And the light that we've rejected, and the light that we have spurned, and the light that we are continuing to take our fist at, and what that illegal immigrant did, illegal alien did to us, a month ago, and he stuck his middle bird finger up as he was being carried off after not having to post bail. That's what we're doing in many ways to God tonight. That's what we're doing in many ways to God. We're sticking our middle finger up to Him. The scariest thing that God can do to any nation, the scariest thing that God can do to any person is to give them up to their own desires and give them up to their own way and not intervene in their life. I cannot say for 100% certainty that we have reached that point in America, but I will tell you this, we're close. We're close. I think God is a patient God. I know that He is. If He wasn't patient, none of us would be here. I wouldn't be here. Thank God that He's patient with all of us. I think the ugliness of the church and the ugliness of the self-righteousness in the church, where people think that, well, he's patient with me, but He can't be patient with anybody else. It's so ugly and hateful. And the church is only a mirror of the nation. The nation is only a mirror of the church. But I will tell you this tonight, that God cannot keep doing and allowing the things, or let me change this. We cannot keep doing the things that we're doing as a nation continually. Not just a mistake or a fall, or we have a blip on the radar and so forth. We are doing things as a quote-unquote a civilized nation that uncivilized nations don't do. They don't do. And the fallen angels and the fallen principalities that are controlling this nation tonight, folks, are producing such a wickedness and darkness that there are no words for what America is experiencing. And look, this ripple effect of this darkness is being felt all over this world. It's being felt in Israel tonight. It's being felt down under. It's being felt in Europe. It's being felt in North Korea. It's being felt in China and Russia. They're mocking us. They're making fun of us. Iran is making fun of us. Our enemies are making fun of us. They're gloating over our demise. And I'm telling you, if we don't cease this path that we're on, this darkness will consume us and destroy us. There's no empire of history. I heard Victor Davis Hanson say it the other night, and I'm going to repeat what he says as I close. It's 10:30. No nation, past, present, or a nation in the future, survives the things that the Roman Empire couldn't survive. The Roman Empire controlled the world for 1,000 years. And it never was defeated outwardly. It crumbled and basically destroyed itself. There's no telling how much longer it would have been on the earth had it not corrupted itself. It destroyed itself. Greece destroyed itself. Corruption in government, no law, lawlessness, debauchery, perversion, just like I mentioned, stuff like that, homosexuality, bestiality, transgenderism, the killing of babies, the killing of babies, the killing of babies. So when we do these things as a nation and we do them unrepentantly, with no blushing, Jeremiah the prophet said that they don't even blush anymore at what they do. See, we don't even blush at what we do anymore. And when we reach that point and we start doing things as a quote-unquote civilized nation that an uncivilized nation won't even do, we're going to be overcome with this darkness. We're overcome with this darkness. And it's a very sad situation. We need to pray for our country tonight. As I leave you on this Thursday night, the 14th day of March, 2024. Don't forget, please be with me Sunday morning at our Bible study. We're going to try to maybe start going a little earlier on Sunday. I don't know if we're going to do it this weekend, but we're trying to maybe go a little early, maybe 9 to 10, something like that. I want people to have a chance to go to church, and if you can, and when we do it at 10, it's sort of right in the heart of most services. But regardless, we're going to still be on Sunday, and we're going to probably do Sunday night. We've got a very prophetic week coming up. We've got Purim coming up a week from this weekend, not this weekend, but the next. Then Easter takes place the next weekend here in America. Passover. It's really weird. They usually Passover and Easter happen about the same time, but this year Passover is taking place in April. Our Easter is taking place the last weekend of the month. We've got an early Easter this year here in the States. And we've got some conferences coming up. You can check our website out at spiritjournals.org for those dates and the locations. We're going to Waveland, Mississippi, and Sioux Falls, South Dakota in May, March, and April, and so forth. And we encourage you to be with us at both locations if you can. And we're going to be talking about this very thing we're talking about tonight, the end of time and America's future, Israel's future, and Bible prophecy. So we encourage you to be with us. So I'll see you Sunday. Next week, we got a lot of great guests. We'll pick all these topics up. I hope you enjoy your weekend. I love you, but my family is important to me, and I've got a birthday weekend to celebrate with two beautiful boys. One my grandson and one my middle son, and my other son had his birthday just a couple of days ago, Caleb, and he was here with me all day today, and we had a good time together. So I want to wish a happy birthday tonight as I close on this week to Caleb Joseph McDonald, to Mr. Elias David McDonald, who will turn 5 years old tomorrow, and Christopher Brandon McDonald, who will turn 31 on Monday, the 18th. And that's when I'll be back on the News Network, and I'll see you Monday night here as we'll start another week of shows. Listen, I love you. God bless you. God bless your families. God bless this great nation of America. Please pray for your country tonight, folks. Pray for America. McFilesForum@gmail.com. If you'd like to send us an email question, we'll take your questions there. And at some point, we're going to do a spiritual Q&A. I will tell you this. Come be with us in our Bible studies next week. We're getting into some deep water. Deep water. And you won't be disappointed. And we sometimes take questions there. So that'll be a good place to maybe send you questions for faith. All right. Have a good night, everybody. I hope you have a good weekend. I'll see you back here Sunday morning on the Faith Network. And until then, Chris McDonald, for all our guests, James Akers tonight. May the Lord bless you. I'm going to go out with this song tonight. It's probably the most apropos song I could play as we face the onslaught of hell against this nation and many of us tonight. In times like these, we need a Savior. In times like these. You have a good weekend out there. Be blessed tonight. Take care. Good night.
In times like these, we need the Savior. In times like these, we need an anchor. Be very sure. Be very sure. Your anchor holds and grips the solid rock. In times like these, we need the Bible. In times like these, we need revival. Be very sure. Be very sure. Your anchor holds and grips the solid rock. This rock is Jesus. Yes, He's the one. This rock is Jesus, the only one. Be very sure. Be very sure. Your anchor holds and grips the solid rock.